style insulting to the heavenly host? Well, we can fix that administrative style. As you can see, I've been to my dude Rosca, finally picked up my jacket, and I'm ready for what? Today, yo fam, we're going to church today. I'm good, man. I'm good. Been watching your trajectory, B, and I've seen how your style has evolved over time. Real. One of the things that I first picked up about you though is that so much of your imagery is coming out of church. So I was like, this dude is dressed like this for church. Like you know what I mean? It was outstanding to me, and the images were cool. You know, your style coming up in church. How did that develop? I mean, like, did you with other guys kind of influencing you? Is it your own vibe? What's that about?
Well, definitely not because of church. Definitely not because of church. The people that I watched in church or the church Christians that I looked up to when it comes to style were more Mali music, Kurt Franklin, Ty Tribbett. That was not in my church. My church didn't.
But that's in church context.
Yes. Yeah. So it was like, okay, well, if Christians can do this and have a freedom of expression through clothes, why can't I? You know what I mean? But being in the church that I was in, everybody didn't get it yet. So it took them a while to get used to being expressive, not only in worship or not only in prayer, you know what I mean, or not only in preaching, but in the way you look.
Yeah, your personal style.
Exactly. Because you don't necessarily want to create a stigma for what church people are supposed to look like.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? So same way we don't want to be have a stigma on what African Americans are supposed to look like. We should never have
anybody
stereotype or anybody.
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't look to my personal church for that, but my dad was stylish. My grandfather was still kind of stylish.
Okay.
So it allowed me to have that taste of being expressive.
Where your foot, so to speak.
Exactly.
So Omari, to me personally, you're best known first as a dancer, second as a stylist, and lastly as a barber. So you're heavily involved with style in a few aspects.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how exactly does the church swag or the aesthetic that you developed coming up in church, as you explain how your influence factors into what you do now?
I never really tied in church to the rest of the art. Because we gotta go back to the origin of it. And the origin of it for me is the fact that God is an artist. Point blank period. He had to be to create colors like he does. You know everything about colors, you know about shapes and formations and stuff and that. And for him to create nature in itself, he has to be an artist. So for him to create me with every other aspect of art that I am, that's what I tie into. So I don't tie into the church or the religion of it, but to the creator himself and giving thanks for that and using everything that I do as one because that's just how he built me. I can't give you a formula for it because that was his plan and how he wanted me to be.
So you can't compartmentalize it. You know, it's just like through and through.
Exactly. So
you born swaggy.
I just born swaggy because that's what he needed at the time. You know what I mean? He needed somebody like me to bridge the gap, to have other people from the outside looking in and saying, you know what, it's cool to be cool. It's cool to be a Christian and be cool. That's not a problem, right? And then with the barbering aspect of it, recently is when I realized that he really wants me to be a groomer of men.
I see.
A groomer of men. We're not even talking about strictly hair.
Okay.
We're talking about
the whole look.
Yeah, me not being a personal trainer as well, me being a stylist as well, that's the grooming.
Right.
And then when you impart empowerment and motivation towards men, young men growing up, because that's who I am. I can't always tell women, I gotta tell them who I am as a man, right? And I think that's where it starts for me. And that's how it really ties in. It's not anybody, the building or anything like that. It's just the origin of where it come from, and that's from the father. That's really it.
I dig it, B.
When I met you, you never told me what to do. It wasn't, yo, you need to be better. You need to be a good human being.
Sure.
Nah, it was just the story you told. What was you told me your influence, your background, what made you decide to do this? Because I believe in empowering people, the stories were important. Jesus told stories before he told commands. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never commanded people to do stuff right away. There was the commandments. That was point blank period. But then every other lesson that was taught was in a parable. It was a story. It was feedback and stuff like that.
And
so I think
there's lessons through those stories.
Exactly. So to empower people, I just know that I gotta have a story. I could pull on a story that I learned from. So with you, I learned from your story. It wasn't that we were in the same type of religion. You know what I'm saying? But the story made sense because you were all about love. That's what your brand is about, right? You were all about love. So I'm like, okay, every time these people get in my chair, that's what I'm gonna spread. Because that's what Raj taught me. That's what God taught me too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there really isn't a difference here because he came from the same father. So the lesson that he's teaching me is the same lesson that I learned when I was young from my daddy, from him and me. So when we're talking about empowering people, we're just talking about telling stories to encourage them to take that option.
I dig it.
Because you can't make anybody do anything.
No.
Once you plant that seed in it, that's left to them to grow.
True.
You can water it, but you can't pull that tree out to the root and pull it to grow it by itself.
Right. Omari, I need to ask you this, man, because my experience coming up in church too had, a little contention about it. Meaning I used to be kind of cast as a rebel of sorts. Did that happen to you, fam?
Bro, definitely oh man, I'm 27.
Right.
From the time I got into fashion, I was 10, right? So at 10 years old, the creativity and the interest in different things, colors, shapes, and all that was peaked.
Right.
When I hit 12, 13 is when clothing started kicking.
Okay.
And it was not like anybody else's.
Right.
So at that time, people weren't really understanding what I was doing.
This you as a teenager?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was like 12, 13.
Right. Okay.
So the clothes were big. I like pink a lot. When I hit 16, 17, and I got the freedom to go to BCC and just be creative, my hair started to change, the color started to change. And even my dad was like, bro, what you really doing? Like, don't become a distraction.
Right.
And it actually took him a while.
I heard that term a lot too, man.
It took him a while to understand, this is just who I am.
Right.
But I never neglected what he said. So then I had to learn. So I was seen as a rebel, to point to that.
Right.
But I like it. Because here's the thing. Jesus was a rebel.
All right.
To all the other law people, he was a rebel. Because he didn't do exactly what everybody was doing. Exactly.
Yeah,
so it's not the negative connotation of rebel. It's just the reverse to what everybody's doing.
I see. Just what is aberrant to the norm.
Exactly.
Okay.
So then what I did have to learn was, let me not be a distraction, but let me still stay true to myself.
Right.
So how can I
balance?
How can I find the balance?
I dig it.
And that's really what makes me evolve into what I am now. That people can appreciate and look forward. Yo, fam, when Christmas comes around, people in the church look forward to see what
See what's up.
I'm telling you.
Drop.
So that whole thing just changed the dynamic of how it started. It was, yo, what is Omari doing? Like, why does he look like this? To know, man, I can't wait to see what Omari will drop Christmas Day or Sunday or whatever.
I dig it.
And it even encourages younger kids to be expressive. Even the older kids. I got older guys like 30, 40 coming to me and be like, yo, this is the jacket I'm about to put on.
For real.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I would not imagine that.
Omari, I want to say thanks, bro. You shared some gems there. I really appreciate it. No doubt, B. Stay empowering, man. Stay empowering. Keep your swagger. Keep that thing evolving. Looking forward to see where you go with this, man. Blessing, bro. Respect. Hi guys, what's up? Today we're having a little chat with Leanne Norville from Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. And we're talking about membership. Leanne, why should we want to join your credit union?
Well, any member of our credit union is a shareholder in the largest indigenous financial institution in the island. And apart from that, we have very attractive deposit rates. We offer annual cashback after our annual general meeting, which also allows members to play an integral role in determining who monitors and represents the credit union by voting for the best candidates to be on the credit union's board of directors. We have endless services across all age groups, and all of our services are very easy to use and free of charge, so it's convenient banking.
The Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. This is where you belong.
Yo, so good to have you, fam.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. So listen, you have a vibe, B, that like stands out. It's just not like you cute and all that. It's that you also like have a distinctive aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like somewhere between classy and grungy. You know what I mean? It's like this very curious marriage, and I see it coming true because those who know you probably know you, one, from an artist, graphic design angle, or probably most know you might be from a gospel music angle. Tell me, B, how has church, because you're gospel, right? Has church like helped you develop your own swag?
Well, there's so many years wrapped up in that whole thing. Is very, very difficult to even pinpoint an exact thing, but being comfortable with this particular style right now took a number of years. Came up in church, yeah, but obviously the church vibe, especially being a female, right? Being an artistic female at that, always came across as a little rebellious from the time that I was making my own decisions in terms of what I would wear and how I would wear it and stuff like that. My parents never had really any issues with how I dressed. Their thing was, as long as you're decent, we good to go. So I was a musician in church, so it's not like anyone could miss me, you know what I mean? So basically, I be up there and I'm playing keys and stuff like that, and there would always be that heat. There will always be that heat. At the random point that I decide I'm gonna wear a dress, the whole world turned upside down, right?
I got you.
But I think for me, it was really just about finding whatever it was that I wore. It was about finding something that made me feel comfortable. And I find that confidence is what really makes your apparel shine.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So basically, me just observing people that I thought were really, really cool dressers, even in the church arena.
Right. Your personal church.
Well,
or you mean?
No, just
church.
In general.
Okay.
World,
Christian.
any TV.
Okay. I got you. Global.
Yeah, computer, anything.
All right.
Especially artistic Christian.
Right.
I found made an impact on how I wanted to dress. And then even people that weren't Christians, just people in the music arena, in the design arena. A lot of those people influenced me, and I think I was especially touched by females that weren't afraid to step out of the boundaries of just skirt and heels all the time or what. I mean, that's cool, and I could rock that too if I had to. But yeah, you know what I mean? But I always had a thing for the Converse and the boots and the blazers.
A little tomboyish in a way.
Yeah. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. A lot of influence from my dad and my bro. Sweetness from my mom, strength from my dad.
I got you.
You know what I mean? So
that's
how I basically reflect in my dress.
Same. All right, cool.
Like that whole vibe, reflects on me. Lauryn Hill, all these female artists always were just so courageous in their style, and you see them change over the years and through the different
as they grow as a person.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And
Same
that part is a big deal.
Okay.
Because I'm 34 years old now, and
not 24.
Not 24.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I can definitely see a difference between how I used to dress back then and how I dress now. And I just feel like the confidence attached to it has a lot to do with myself and how I believe God has made me. And I just think that confidence comes along with it. And as a Christian, it's a big deal. You know what I mean? It's a big deal.
Word.
So I think all that comes to bear in that whole situation. But from the artistic vibe and the females that show us strong, that really influenced me.
Big deal, man. That's cool. Listen, babe, I want to thank you for coming through, sharing with us. We look forward to hearing your music. Yeah, just keep that swag turning, B, and we'll be looking out for you. We support that, right? No doubt. Hashtag Taylor, thank you, fam. Alright, so what I need you to do, fam, is just walk a little bit this way, come out of the shadows, and walk this lane. This is the cock walk. Little blonde boy, doodle-doo thing. That one they're rolling out here, so you see that little feather at the back of your head too? Jeez.
In your system, gonna be the reason that it all goes wrong. I'm gonna be a glitch in your system, standing for my savior when it all goes down. When it all goes down, down, down. When it all goes down, down, down. You wanna be darkness scatters and the dark ones they will realize. Illuminati pull the shades over the people's eyes. Cover one and you'll be covered, that's the devil's lies. Shooting star then shut up star, that's a sacrifice. Do you ever wonder, do you ever scrutinize? Asking questions till the day I die, yeah. Do you ever wonder, you should always scrutinize? Asking questions till the day I be a bitch in your system.
Hey, what's up, fam? I'm Raj Paul, Taylor designer out of Barbados. This is hashtag Tailored. You're into the church swag. I'm about to meet one of the coolest dudes I know for time coming up, developing his own look, coming out, just inspiring me as a youth coming up in churches. So we're gonna meet with Trevor Burnett, fine artist out of Barbados, super stylish gentleman. Trevor, you're a fine artist, probably one of the most outstanding in Barbados. I want to know, fam, how has your development, your aesthetic developed as a church boy coming up? How does that feed into your career, or does it?
My dad, serious Seventh-day Adventist.
Right.
New Year appearance well. Himself a very, very good painter, landscape painter. So for me, that's what I saw at home.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a natural development to combine what I did for a living, what my dad did for a living, paint, into my personal aesthetic.
Okay.
Colors,
right,
shape, line, form,
right,
and then the ability to wear it well, to carry it. Because I've never had interest in fashion. I've always been into personal style.
Okay.
You know, fashion is, in my opinion,
temporary.
Fleeting. It's replete with changes, fleeting changes.
Yeah.
Personal style is perpetual. It's just who you are.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's architecture, clothing, jewelry.
Right. Okay.
It's all about who you are.
I see. No, I'm 100 with you, B. And one of the early memories I have of purposely and intentionally crafting my style was when small bottoms had come into style.
So Raj, I mean, it's like this is full circle for both of us.
Yeah.
Because This is where it started.
It's true, man.
It started in church.
Bruh, it was the one day a week that, you know, we had the opportunity to come out, dress up, sharpen up, and step out. And then once we land, see what else is kicking, see what else is bringing it.
Now, I'm glad that you mentioned once we landed, because there's a different swag now to putting clothes on than to carry them. Okay? So there was a metamorphosis after we landed, because I'm looking for where Raj is at. Right? And I'm telling my younger brother, I feel Raj gonna wear blue. So I ain't wearing the blue. I come out in khaki or green.
Right.
So I looking for Raj, right? Because at the time we were the talisman. We a lot of things came through us at the time.
Trevor, this is a dope jacket you're wearing, fam. What I noticed about this, because you know I got an eye for this thing. What I noticed about this is that after this jacket was finished, you somehow added that hand detailing in the yellow, the red, and the green. Something that, like, you know what I'm saying, took the jacket from being a nice fitting jacket to another level of like, yo, watch the handwork that's in here. So no, you utilize tailors, fam, like to build out your looks and so on, or it's just a matter of like, you'll do it yourself? Do you utilize, you know what I'm saying, the tailoring establishment?
Great question.
Yeah.
You're paying attention to detail. I like
I
that.
am, bro. That's what I do.
I got this jacket. This is my COVID jacket.
Okay.
I got this jacket in my favorite part of the world, Martinique. I got this in February. I was there for Carnival. And I have a personal styling shop in Fort-de-France.
Okay.
The owner of the shop is a big art collector. His favorite artist is Jean-Michel Basquiat.
Yeah.
And needless to say, everything in his shop is hand done. Everything in his shop is hand done.
Okay.
Yes. And I picked this up there along with some really nice belts and some footwear and stuff. But you have a good eye. It's slightly cumbersome. The stitching, the hand stitching, and that brings out that artistic.
It's like an artisanal touch to
exactly.
it. Yeah.
Rather than stoic
machine
or machine.
Yeah.
That is me.
I dig it. So there's a kind of livingness,
I love that,
in a sense, coming through it.
Yes.
Yeah,
It has to.
I dig it, man. Trev, I love what you just said, because, fam, we come from a tradition, a black tradition, fam, an African tradition, a brown tradition, fam. We come from a tradition of stylish ancestors, fam. We come from a vibe of like, yo, not just peacocking, you dig what I'm saying? But rather, a real love for style and personality and, you know, the je ne sais quoi that comes through the set, yo, bitch, about how this dude moves, you know what I'm saying? And when I think of what you said and what I'm familiar with, I think of the sapeurs, you know, from the Congo, you know what I mean? Like that whole vibe of taking all that European garb and bringing such a factor to it, such an element, such an African element to it, be like, it's just, yo, you know what I'm saying?
I call it the genius of melanin. Because melanin encompasses rhythm, movement, flow. We bounce, Raj. We bounce. I remember you bouncing gracefully at Abingdon way back.
Yeah.
You know, we move, we operate on a different frequency.
And that's when you talk about carriage. Yeah, exactly. I dig it, man.
See, that's where the carrying, that's where you become, pun intended, high priest.
Dark now.
That's where you become high priest in proffering your aesthetic.
I dig it.
It's big, bro.
Bro,
big.
I'm a bit real, but we can continue talking for time.
For sure.
I you know, thank you, bro. I think you took us to church, B, and when I think of like the contribution from the other participants in this particular episode, it's very, very encouraging. And for me personally, it keeps me up like, yo, okay, fam, you're on the right path, you're on the right trajectory, you know what I'm saying? So I hope it does the same thing for some other people checking us out, man.
For sure.
Yo, Trev.
We came full circle today.
Respect, brother. Guys, you've been watching #Taylor. I'm Raj, Paul Taylor, designer out of Barbados. It's been such a sweet episode. Met some of the coolest people, brought them into space. share some of the heritage that we come from. Even as Barbadians, man, you know, we bring our own take to the table. We bring our own, it might be a conservative environment that we come up in, especially for the gentlemen, but there's nothing stopping us. There's nothing stopping us from coming out, putting our beauty out, bringing our vibe out, bringing our swag out, you know what I'm saying, and keeping it trill. So thanks for being with us. We'll see you on the next episode. #Taylor. You know what time it is. We out.